This slide cast, we're going to look at taking the network diagram we looked at in the previous slide cast, and we're going to turn it into a project program which we can use to manage time on an engineering project. The process we looked at in the last few slide casts is all about time management, managing time, bringing the project in on time. We started with the network diagram which we looked at in the previous slide. So that's from the previous slide. You can see that we've got all of the items, got the item numbers there, and we've shown the dependency of each one of those. We take that information and we put it into a different format. So you can see this shows exactly the same as what the previous diagram did, but it's put it into a table. We've listed the item numbers, the items, we put the duration down there, and now we've shown them as bars. So along the top here is time. What we're doing here in our table, or graph if you like, is we've put each of the activities against time. And the way we show the amount of time that they occupy is with this bar. So you can see that each one of these columns here is 1 week. So this activity road formation takes 2 weeks, so it takes this week and this week. Then we've got an arrow here which shows that the dependencies. So these arrows here show the dependencies. So once project start happens, the road formation starts, lasts for 2 weeks. Once it's finished, the curb and channel can start, lasts for 1 week, and the footpath can start, lasts for 1 week. So in this way we're showing the extent of the time that each one of those activities takes. We're showing the dependency with these arrows. You can also see that this whole project can now be seen in one document. From this you can see the work breakdown structure, how the work has been broken down into parts. You can see the durations, you can see the time it takes to do each activity, you can see the dependencies of each, you can see how the whole project runs from start to finish. So this type of diagram is called a Gantt chart. They are used quite a lot in engineering projects. Walk into most engineering project offices and you will find one of these on the wall. This is what we normally use to guide ourselves through a project. If you like, it's the project plan in its most general form. Another word for this is the project schedule. I haven't used that because schedule is used quite a bit, but so it can also be called the project schedule, the Gantt chart, or the program, or the timetable. One other thing you can show on here is the critical activity. You can show it as a different color, so you don't just use the spatial set out, you can also use colors and say, well, the stuff in red is the critical paths. You can then use this to determine, okay, well there's my important ones there. Lastly, I just wanted to show you a real one that was produced on Microsoft Project. Now, when you do project management principles, you will learn how to use Microsoft Project and produce program schedules like this. As I said, program schedule, timeline, program, whatever, it's all the same thing. In this case we've got our, notice that what we've got is we've broken up our project into parts. So there's our second layer items, and then it shows the ones below it. So in this case we've used these as summary tasks, so we're showing both all layers of the work breakdown structure in this format here. We've also put the resources, the people that are involved in the project, we've put them next to it as well, and we've put some dates there. This little diamond thing is what's called a milestone. It's something that happens, it doesn't have any duration. So the project starts, it's an event, it doesn't have any duration, you start, and then finish is you finish, there's no duration. So that's what those things are, dates that you have to hit. You can see these black lines here show the extent of each one of these items. So each one of these third level tasks, activities, all combined together to form this one summary task. In the following slide cast, we're going to look at how we use something like this to manage the project when it's actually being executed. This is the conclusion of our planning process. Now we need to execute it, and we use this to monitor whether we're on time or not, and that's what we'll look at in the next slide cast.